has been written by one of our own sons. It wasn't written by a white man anyway, it was written by one of our own sons. And I don't want to give a background now. But before we started the program, since we believe in the Almighty, we always commit everything to the hands of the Almighty. Every time I attend a program, they usually will invite either a seasoned pastor who is well known or a priest or something. The person who is going to pray for it this afternoon. It's not a professional pastor that you probably have heard of, but I'll tell you that he's a seasoned message who also deeply a Christian also. He is a retired former commissioner of the Ghana Revenue Authority, and he's currently also retired as a private. So our brother, Mr. Mela, to comment to God, so we can start the program. Thank you.
There is a saying that the fewer the merrier. And then if you look at any structure, the higher you go, the smaller the number becomes. I think if there's a little few, the more is comfortable and everything. Let's bow down our heads for a short time. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity. For you to open a little bit of the knowledge and the wisdom to us. Through the book that has written by Dr. Creation. We are aware of the infinite knowledge that is available to us freely. It is left for us to access. Lord, we thank you for this. We are praying that you infuse our beings with the divine essence so that we will have easy access to your knowledge. We are also praying for long life, for more knowledge and understanding for Dr. Creation, so that you will be inspired to greater heights and be able to write bigger and bigger books. Lord, expand his knowledge, increase his consciousness, so that you'll be able to divide the vibrations and harmonize his vibration with yours. For those of us who have made the time to be here this afternoon, we are praying for the divine grace. Your grace is sufficient for us, as you say. We are praying that this book launch will have an outcome that will have a lasting impact on our life, and that also it will inspire us to also imitate what Dr. Kwanchan has done. All of us have a bit of knowledge with divine essence. Let's put them in writing and inspire the wonderful nation. Lord, we thank you for this afternoon. In the holy name we praise forever. Amen.
You can. Yeah, recording to finish. Yeah, you can finish and then start another one. Just finish and then you.
Well, I told you, say.
It's train when I come up, then you go like that. Okay, so do you want to show you can wait? You can save it. And then,
when I was in the US, I read an article about us. He said if you want to hide anything from the black man, put it into print.
So let's do another one. Just save this one.
But we are challenging them through the book that Dr. Kwanchan has written, that if you put it into print, you will read and know what is going on. Well, there's no ship that has set sail without a captain. An event like this, we can't leave the event, shareless, so that people will be getting out and saying what they want. We are fortunate enough to have in our midst somebody who is more appropriate to share this event for us. The book is not only academic, it's also a bit traditional character. So when we look around, we couldn't find any appropriate person than somebody who is also a traditional officer, I would put it that way. is in the person of Nana Bao Kutundu. He is the Frankahine or Saputine of the Piafun traditional area. He is a member of the Piafun Traditional Council. He is also a member of the Judicial Committee of the Piafun Traditional Council. He is also a member of the Research Committee of the Council. Nana holds a Bachelor of Pharmacy (BPharm) from Pharmaceutical University of Science and Technology. He is also he has a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of London, UK. He also holds an MBA. He has Master of Business Administration from the University of Leicester in the UK. So we see he is not only a traditional group. Nowadays we are so happy to have academicians going into the traditional office. Professionally, he worked as a representative and marketing consultant for Johnson Pharmaceutical. The pharmaceutical wing of Johnson & Johnson for the Anglophone West Africa for close to about 30 years. He is currently a private business consultant. But I must say, I wouldn't say he's a private person now. He's still a public servant. If you are a chief, they don't want to brand themselves that way, but when you are a chief, you are a public servant. Or to put it bluntly, sometimes some of them are village servants. So without much ado, I will call on Nana Bao to conclude the speech. He's been wearing suit all his life. Now that he was promoted to become a traditional chief. I think putting on a different attire is an issue now. So we'll pardon him. Well, Nana will also need some food supporters. So I will call on our uncle, Chief, to come up here and I'll just sit by Nana and support him. So, Chief, as a birthday, I hope it will not be an issue climbing the stairs. Before I call on Nana to give his remarks, I will want to stand and tell the author and everybody to thank all of you who have found time to grace this occasion, and for those of you who have made it on time for this. We know people will come at the last minute, and I will still thank them for coming to do the event. So I will call on Nana to give his remarks.
Especially invited guests, brothers and sisters, it's my singular privilege to call upon the chair this occasion. I think for me, telling the myself got a lot of significance.
This one here helps to tighten you can go this way.
To begin with,
And then when you get the angle,
is an Adinkra.
you see this?
for me, that's the first question I ask myself.
And that holds the which around
Literally speaking, it's
when it comes to
bidding farewell. Bidding farewell. And actually, it all started as a royal tradition. You know, in the Ghanaian royalty, especially in the account system, men are not supposed to eat or wait. Let alone
bring it down. So you see
the chief, nobody can see you waiting. No matter how painful the demise of whoever is involved
this
is to you. And so, our forefathers then
you want to send
said to do with the symbol.
hold this one down.
Instead of weaving
So
and waiting,
release this.
because down weaving, down weaving.
Release this. Turn
And
it
our
this way.
tradition also have a lot of room for waiting. When you attend funerals, you see that. So this tradition,
And when
this
you want to
started
go
with
around him,
the funeral tradition.
tighten it.
And it was like helping the royals to grieve
Are you good?
without opening their mouth or way. It was done in symbols. And so the cloth, or the funeral cloth that the royals wore at the time was or contained the symbols of Adinkra to symbolize how painful it was for them. With time, or with evolution, other aspects of the system, like marriage rights, even war, and things like with the chief of the parliament or whoever wanted to declare war of a kind of symbolic, and had the symbols in it. See the cross swords, that kind of thing. Right. And then, like we said, evolution has taken on a kind of through time. This thing has become more like fashion. Everywhere we go. In fact, what I'm wearing, my intake is full of Adinkra symbols. But now there are ceremonies all over the place. Right? Unfortunately, it looks like most of our traditions are being lost because of lack of records or lack of writing. Or you see, even if you go to our courts, they say that customary law knows no writing. We don't write like, but we symbolize what we do. And we don't have to lose it because it's part and parcel of the system. It tells a story. You can tell the whole story with the Adinkra. It's a symbolic language. So for me, it's a great privilege and honor to follow and share this occasion. So in order not to waste too much time, we move on to the program so that the author, who is also a medical practitioner, has taken the time to research and do this work, will unveil the mysteries of Adinkra. Thank you.
See, Africa is far behind, and you know the reason why. Because our forefathers have died with the knowledge. Sometimes I sit back and I ask myself, why is it that we couldn't write? Because almost throughout the world, most of the advanced countries, not only the advanced countries, every kind of race has some form of writing except sub-Saharan Africans. All the knowledge, everything we have is buried, it's gone. They said oral tradition, but if you want to keep the oral tradition, you need to give birth to about 20 children so that at least some will be alive to keep on with the story. See? But now we are cutting down on our rate of birth, and therefore some families don't even have kids to follow. Well, I tried 4 of them, so I'm just praying that some will remain to keep up with the tradition. So Charles came into our family and said, no, Dad, we need to start writing. And I was so happy he started. Now, I'm not going to do any oral tradition. We're going to write. So at this time, I'm going to call upon somebody who did a review on the book. He read the book and wrote several things about it. He is here to help us to give the background of the book. This person is a person of Timothy Ngwe. He graduated from the Ghana Institute of Journalism. He holds a master's degree in development communication. He is currently a reporter with graphics and he's also a reviewer. So without wasting time, I'll call on Timothy to come up here and give us the background of the book.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. I'm so honored and privileged to be given this opportunity to give a review of the book request as Adinkra. In fact, I must say that I'm so grateful for Nana Chunana for in fact having built a very solid foundation for me to step on. But I was actually wondering, especially considering my age and how I was already doing the but Nana made me so happy. So I'm for doing about 60% of my work. So I don't have to wait time trying to go through the class because I'm not really fit to go there. Just like Master Ceremony just said, I have a very rare opportunity to review the book by Dr. Charles Crunchy. And in fact, the very first time I got this opportunity, I was like, wow, I never knew there was something like this that could be done by an African and a Ghanaian for that matter. Growing up, I did a bit of history. I read a bit of the Egyptian hieroglyphics. And I remember very well that when we were growing up, at basic school level, we were made to commit Roman numerals into memory. And you were made to write, they write the Roman numerals, and then you were made to write the corresponding listing in the English listing. And so I never knew you could get to a point where an African and a Ghanaian for that matter could also come out with a unique system of maybe writing. And so when I saw the book, I was touched. And if you see the review, in fact, I had the opportunity to review the book that was published in the Daily Graphic. And I actually forgot the date. I would have recommended and have a great book. This is just something very brief about what the book is. In fact, this is actually a 252-page book. And like I said earlier on, authored by Dr. Charles Crunchy. And I think at the right time his background was given. And I was wondering, when I started reading the preface and a bit of his biography, I realized that somebody that is a medical doctor by profession is actually going really deep research to come out with something like this. I was actually telling myself that the historians must bow their heads in total shame. Oh yes, I was deeply touched because someone that has to leave patients in the coming out, do research and coming out, and Adinkra, I think we should give it back to him. And so Adinkra Alphabet is a 252-page book, like I earlier said. And this book, the author tries to give us a system of writing using 52 characters. Just like the English alphabet, we have about 26 alphabets. But in Adinkra, he went a step forward. He gave out about 52 characters, assigning meaning to these characters. And these alphabets were done in 5 main Ghanaian languages. In Akan, in Ewe, Gadangwe, and in Japan. That should be 4. And from what I read from him, he said he looks up to that time when it will become a universally accepted form of writing for all indigenous Indian languages and indigenous African languages. And so the Adinkra symbols has some uniqueness in that we know that in the English system they have vowels, consonants that help to do communication, both oral and written communication, very easy. And so if you look at this book, the author actually provides these vowels and consonants. So you have Adinkra vowels and Adinkra consonants that helps you not to only write but to also read. And so this helps to promote or to facilitate communication. And it's a feather in his cap. Then also, he uses these Adinkra symbols to also develop a letter game. Just like in the English system where we have these games, puzzles, and those things. Adinkra has been designed in such a way that there are letter games too. That helps you. And so, for children, in the English system, children can use this alphabet games, the number tree, and other things to help them read and write. I remember when we were growing, there was this game, merry-go-round. Can you go, mother and child, where they help you to build words, the word building process. The other actually comes out with a system, using number games to help people learn the Adinkra system of writing. And this is a feather in his cap because it will help you, anyone who uses this book, it will help him to be able to study and get used to the Adinkra system so easily. Then there's also, he also provides a bit of history about the Adinkra system. And so I don't want to wade so much into that. Once you lay hands on it, it provides history about the Adinkra system, how it all started and how the system has developed. Then also, there are cardinal signs. We all know that we have these four cardinal, north, east, south, and west. The author, in his imaginative way and in-depth research, has been able to design the cardinal points, such that you don't have to only look at the English and say north, east, south, and west, but you are able to use that Adinkra alphabet or the Adinkra writing to also tell the cardinal points. He went ahead to provide proverbs, this Adinkra book or the Adinkra alphabet. He uses this to actually get proverbs. So you are able to tell proverbs using the Adinkra alphabet. Not only that, he gives a geometric system, this numerology, just like I mentioned in the Roman numeral system. He also provides a numbering system and even a system where he's able to rank, to give order and ranking. So for instance, we have first, second, third, fourth. In the Adinkra alphabet, the author is able to do this system he provides a system of ranking so that you are able to tell that this person comes first. How do you write it in the Adinkra using Adinkra alphabet? And so numbering and ordering system has also been captured in this particular book. Then again, our famous national anthem. Our national anthem. The author has been able to use Adinkra symbols or Adinkra alphabet to write the national anthem, such that you don't have to only look at the English system to be able to sing your own national anthem, but you use Adinkra symbols. This is interesting. When I was reading the book, and when I got to this part of the book, I got so thrilled. Because if the national anthem is indigenous to us, if the national pledge is indigenous to us, what it means is that we should be able to get a way of maybe communicating our own system, and the author, in fact, comprehensively caters for this in the book, where you are able to write the national anthem, the pledge, and the national song, Yanada, Assassinate, and others. You are able to do that using the Adinkra alphabet or the Adinkra system. Then also, African countries, their capitals, it provides this in the Adinkra book. So in fact, I would say that this book is an all-encompassing tool for anybody who wants to learn about the indigenous African and the indigenous Ghanaian culture. If you want to learn about the indigenous Ghanaian way of writing, a large time, it is encompassed in this book. He goes into that being Africans and Ghanaians for that matter, we have certain cherished values. Say that once you portray these values, you are one is able to tell how cultures you are, or maybe how indigenous you are. And so in the Adinkra symbol, the author is able to find a system of writing to express this cherished value, a symbol of love. He expresses love in this particular book. Kindness, respect for authority, and other virtues. So because it's the Adinkra virtue. So through the Adinkra virtue, he's able to, in fact, combine some of these cherished values in our society. And in fact, it's a feather in his cap. So in fact, you get this book, if you're able to get this book, what it means is that you will not only be writing your own values, you will not only be communicating your own values in someone else's language, but you are able to do that in your own language. So just imagine you expressing some of these cherished values, love, kindness, and in your own language. It is very interesting. So you grab a copy of this book, and that will be a platform. I spoke about African prophets that are well illustrated in this book. Then the color system. When we're going up this round, if you see a traffic light, there's something you say, red means whatever, green means this, yellow means this. Professor Crunchy or Dr. Crunchy has been able to find the Adinkra version of it. You see a traffic light. And he's been able to give us a color system so that you are able to tell that this is how to express color red, this is how to express color blue, this is how to express this. In fact, a lot of other things are contained in this book that I may not be able to say all of this at this moment. And so all that I will say is to urge you that in fact it's a well-written book, simplified and easy to study. And I really wish we had officials from the Ghana Education Service. I don't know if they are with us here. I really wish we had them. If we really have them here, I would have recommended. In fact, I will go ahead and recommend that this book is one that must be encouraged and mainstream into our education system. Such that we are able, because we are always calling for maybe learning our own culture. Such that once we are able to learn our own culture, in years we have that before, we learn from known to unknown. So once we are able to learn our own culture, we are able to transfer that to someone else's culture, and that helps us a lot. And so I would recommend that the GES incorporate this kind of beautiful work into the main school system. And in fact, if they are not here, I will also recommend that to take a step. We shouldn't just limit it to this particular room. We take a step and put the GES. And if this is mainstream in the formal school system, it will help us a great deal. And so, in a nutshell, or in order not to waste so much of the time, I would recommend that each and every one of us here become ambassadors of this particular book. We become preachers of the gospel, so that at least in the next few years, we are able to communicate, not only in the English language, not only by learning the Chinese form of writing, because the Chinese are also they've established their system of writing in Ghana and other African countries. And so if someone else can maybe establish their system of writing in your own country, then we need to embrace one of our own tools who are struggled. And this is an emerging trend. And so I will recommend, or I will urge all of us here to support this working call. Once you grab a copy of this book, you become an ambassador of it, you advocate, you preach that gospel, so that we, all of us, will become used to the class system of writing. Then together, we'll be promoting the Ghanaian brand. Then together, we'll be promoting the African brand. Saying that when we meet at the league, at the community of nations, the history of Africa, the history of Ghana will be told through the Adinkra way. Thank you very much.
they are making my work very easy. Now, you know, he said that there were about 40-something characters, but I bet you the Chinese have about 1,500 characters. So ours is very easy. We should be able to learn it very easy. The Chinese have all sorts of drawings, and sometimes I wonder how they're able to combine these drawings to even make a sound. So if Dr. has been able to come up with only about 46 or so, that should be easy for us. Well, I have the singular honor to double up as the person who is going to give a background of the author. It's so much fun for me to do this because I not only know him as the author, but he happened to be my son-in-law. See, Charles, in our language, we say, sometimes, you know, somebody will look at the beginning, you probably may not be able to project any future for this person. But God is great. He struggled amidst, I would say, coming from a very poor family. But I always tell my students that whatever book you are only great. At least you are getting trouble, so you must get a girlfriend. So he went and came back. And then after 2 weeks, I said, Charlie Sam, how about, you haven't told me anything. And so, then I was there and email arrived. Oh, Dad, I've got a girlfriend. I said, wow. And who is this person? There is no other person than your own daughter. Oh! So, within a few months, they were married. And he also went and did his residency in the US and specialized in family medicine. So he's currently working in the US, but I'm hopeful that he will come back. He's working with Premier Health Services in the USA. And he is also now been promoted and has become a fellow of the American Association of Family Practice. So you see some of these unassuming guys, people sometimes we throw by the roadside, sometimes those become the oak trees in us. So with some of these examples around, I tend not to discourage or discard any person. Every person is a person. So without much ado, I will call on author himself, who of all, that's what I was wondering. When I went to the US and he told me he was writing a book, I said, what the heck are you telling me? Are you able to find time to do something else? Because the doctors in the US are so stressed. Sometimes I wanted to write to them and say, what are you people doing? The doctors who are supposed to take care of us are so stressed. Why would they make mistakes? The guy is going to perform surgery on you and he's so stressed. Sometimes cut the left leg, then they mistakenly cut the right, and then you end up losing the 2 legs. So I was so proud of him for finding time, extra time to do this. So Charles, I will call you here, and for those of you who don't know him, this tall gentleman standing here is Charles. Dr. Charles Crunchy, the people here have assembled because of you. They are so happy for the work you have done that we will use the for you to tell us something about the work you did. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ano. Nana Chairperson, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. I'm honored and delighted to stand before you this day to officially introduce and launch my book, Adinkra Alphabet in Ghana. It took about 3 years to get to this point, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank my family, especially my wife, Nana Ama. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with me today due to circumstances beyond her control, for her support in this effort. I would also like to thank everyone, including all my followers on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, who have contributed towards the success of this journey. Your contributions to the creation of Adinkra Alphabet have been immense. Growing up in Ghana, I remember seeing the Adinkra symbols all around me, and I became so fascinated with them. Later on, I researched into the symbols and discovered that they were not mere symbols. As I studied them closely, I could decipher some hidden meanings behind them. One day, my wife and I were discussing why no country in sub-Saharan Africa could invent any form of writing. The night of that day, as I lay in bed, it struck me that the Adinkra symbols could be used to create alphabets for writing. The birth of the book took place that very night. In 2013, I started writing the book to share the ideas I have gathered on the symbols. The first edition of Adinkra Alphabet was published in 2015. In the first edition, I presented the history of Adinkra symbols and their literal, physical, and metaphysical meanings. I also created the Adinkra symbols to replace the alphabets used in writing the Akan languages. So in the first edition, there were 26 Adinkra characters corresponding to the 26 alphabets in the English language. Through crowdsourcing on Facebook, many of my followers recommended that I include Akan characters for and F, and that led to the second edition of Adinkra Alphabet in 2016 with 28 characters. The followers of Adinkra Alphabet project on Facebook and other social media continue to grow. People from all walks of life, including African Americans, became so fascinated with the book. Many Ghanaians who read the book found it very interesting and recommended that I create more symbols that could take care of the 4 major languages in Ghana. This led to the creation of the current edition of Adinkra Alphabet with characters for Akan, Eweka, and Dabani, extending the characters to 41. The aim of the Adinkra Alphabet is to be able to write Ghanaian languages with native Adinkra alphabet. This will give us a sense of identity and a writing system that originates from our own native culture. Adinkra alphabet is derived from Adinkra symbols. I must admit that I had to modify some of the original Adinkra symbols to make them easy to write. Adinkra alphabet maintains the symbolic meaning of the Adinkra symbols from which they were derived. Each Adinkra alphabet also has a unique numerical value. This allows each Adinkra alphabet to have additional dimensional use and a broad area of application. Even though we're used to the English alphabet, I think it will be a great idea to start writing using our own unique characters, which will make sense to us as Ghanaians. The introduction of the Adinkra system of writing should be seen as a long-term project and should be started from the nursery level in schools. I can say with certainty that students who will be familiar with the Adinkra alphabet will find it easy to understand character coding and computer programming. Literacy is the ability to read and write. And as Ghanaians become familiar with Adinkra symbols, learning Adinkra alphabet will be easy. It will also increase the literacy rate in Ghana. Adinkra alphabet has been granted US copyright number TX8164376 and US patent number USD789444S1. giving it the necessary legal protection. I have developed additional resources to make the learning of the Adinkra alphabet easy. We have writing books for children to learn and write with the Adinkra alphabet. We also have children's activity book for coloring, writing, and marking. The Adinkra card game can be played by children 6 years and above, and it is fun for counting, mathematical additions, strategizing, memory activity, and learning about Adinkra symbols. Getting the Adinkra alphabet into the Ghana education system requires a collective effort of all of us. And that is why I ask for your support in making this a reality. Please share what you read about the Adinkra alphabet from the book with your family and start writing with the Adinkra alphabet to make this vision a reality. I therefore kindly entreat each one of you to obtain a copy of the book and spread the gospel of the Adinkra alphabet. We also have available today the Adinkra alphabet writing books, the Adinkra alphabet children's activity book, and the Adinkra card game for purchase. I also invite all of you to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram to stay up to date with the progress of the Adinkra alphabet. Thank you all for taking time to come to the inauguration of the Adinkra alphabet in Ghana. Your presence here today is very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
When you work with a variety of people, in my family, I'm the tallest. So when it came into our family, I was so happy. I said, for now, we are going to have some more people. In Ghana, you are too tall and they call you Dogo. So I like my height. Well, Dr. Brandy, I think we have to do Well, indeed, we did invite Minister of Information, Minister of Education, I don't know if they were able to send any representative to us. But the thing is that when you give birth to a child, you don't take the child to the stadium with the whole country around. Just a full family gather around. Then as the child starts growing, you start giving the child the world. So we are giving birth to the book with people who have come here with love. After here, whether they came or not, we are going there. We are now going to really introduce them the book to those who matter. But for now, we have those of us who have gathered here, gathered with one mind, and together with sense of unity, we are going to project this book to the entire world, not only to Ghana, but to the entire world. I must say that, see, in the US, they've started using the book. Some of the schools invited them to talk about that in the book. They brought copies, they were teaching the kids how to write and so on and so forth. For all you know, if we don't hurry up, see the white folks, and then they will write to us and even show us how to read and write the own characters. So, if Jesus has been born within us, Jesus is not only the guy who came and spread news about God, but anybody who spreads knowledge is also Jesus. So, if we have been fortunate enough to have Dr. Francis opening the gate for us, we should really try and let his work grow, because it will not only be beneficial to himself, but to all of us. I love it, because when I open a Korean book, the characters are Korean. You take an Indian book, the characters are Indian characters. You take Japanese characters. English characters. Africa, English characters. Ghana book, English characters. Even chieftains, English characters. It is a big shame. So I think, Doctor, thank you for the work you've done. Through you, I'm also inspired. I've started writing something, but because of the inspiration I got from it these days, I'm not going to sleep day and night until I finish the book. Those of you who are also having ideas and so on and so forth. It's not only difficult for Africans to read, it's also difficult for us to write. I don't know. You meet a lot of people and you are talking, they have great ideas, but tell me, sitting down to put this into written form is a problem. Don't let us die with this knowledge so that the white folk will write our own history about us, telling us who we were, where we were even born. We read all these history books. If some historian is writing about you, he's going to write what he thinks is good for you. But if we write about ourselves, we will write what we think we are. So this book should be an inspiration to us all. At this time, we are going to call Honorable Nana He is a very good friend of mine. I've known him as Mr. Bambo and so on and so forth. Then all of a sudden, he said, I've now become a chief, and now when I'm calling him, I say, Nana, are you there? So Nana, at this time, we are calling you to officially launch the book so that those who want to publish can lay their hands on the book. I must say that Dr. Francis wrote a book. I don't know, he's such a serious guy. And sometimes I don't know how he has time for his wife and children. But since he's giving birth, I know he has time for the wife. He's also developed some card games. The English people, we call it. See, they created a way to play. Span. Now, he's also created a card game. He's created for people, for children, activity books, and so on and so forth. He sat down and tried to draw the things that is fun for the kids. And sometimes I look at it and say, so we have great shows in us like this. So, after this, we unveil the books, and I hope we want to wake up to listen. Buying the book should not be seen as thinking that the author is going to make profit. Because the books were printed in the US and it has to be used at considerable rates to young Ghanaians who take publish. We are also trying to find ways and means to even publish the books here so it can become very cheap. Because if you want something to spread, the way the economy is going, the dollar was about raised from $8. Now it's gone to almost $5. Some people were asking this guy who's been talking about who is he. I intentionally did it. I didn't want to introduce myself, but since I've been talking about some people at the time were asking who is this guy. Anyway, I don't usually want to use it because I tell people whoever you are working inside Mangola, unless you tell who you are, go ahead. Who cares? I'm Dr. Ano. I was formerly a civil engineer, but through some circumstances and divine intervention, I left engineering to become a teacher. And what I've come to learn is that, see, Africa, we can't physically change us. We need to change our minds. And if I want to change mine, it's not designing bridges and designing houses and so on and so forth, which will be lived in by some few people. But I found great joy in becoming a teacher because now, through God, I'm transforming minds. And I'm sure that if we're able to transform our minds and our way of thinking, we will really be leaders in the world. Nana, at this occasion, I will leave the floor for you to write the book. Because it has always been said that if a chief opens something for you, it will go wrong.
A lot, and I would go back to symbolism, right? And this saying that all great things are what means. And symbolism, right, is the beginning of everything. You know what we call the alphabet? The alphabet actually happens to be an Arabic interpretation of alpha and beta. Alpha is the cattle, right? And the beta is the half. So if you look at the alphabet, it's like itself, you see the alpha, that's the one of the cattle and then the beta, the B, that's been invented, cows. It started by the nomads building small homes, and by their house, the first one for himself, or the first house, the second one, or for his cattle. And they started developing on it. The alphabet became eventually a language, and the Europeans adopted it. And we all know, we all did the Bible today. They used to have, when the Romans were ruling Europe, they used to have blah, blah, S, complicated, right? And then they realized that the Hindus had a more simplified system of writing the numbers, right? They had what they call the 10, 1, 2, 3, and they call it. So those ones are called Hindu Arabic numerals. They copy from the Arabs and whatever. But we should know that I read this from the Dutch embassy in Monrovia. I used to live in Monrovia, and I was going for a start to visit the US. And there was a book there, and I was reading through it, and I realized that the use of money, like coins, started from here. And it was said that when the Dutch first visited the Ashanti colony way back in the 15th century, they realized that instead of them doing butter, they carried loads of like take of cocoa, and I bring my cassava, whatever, doing butter trade. They realized that Ashantis were using coins they crossing here, and they were weighing them. So whatever you bought was actually paid for with CDM, no points. And they have to copy this, and they copied it, and they started doing that in Europe. And it became a system of trading. So it's not like, unfortunately, I think most of these things have been demonized over the years by religion. When the Christian faith came, they brought a whole lot of things and demonized all that we're doing, and people are like preaching that we poor and all those things, right? And eventually we also adopted it and said that whatever they are bringing is the best. But that is not the case. You have to start from somewhere. So we started with this. Obviously, I won't say that it's going to be a perfect material, but if this is adopted, it can be developed upon, right? It can be developed upon. Maybe some of us here can be agents for the further development of this beautiful thing that I have here. Without talking too much, I'll officially, like we do in Ghana and everywhere in the world, officially declare this book launched. And my addition to the Almighty out there, and to the earth of which we live and which we move and go around and feed ourselves. This book is launched.
Amen.
Well, see, the charge has been thrown to you guys. the young ones amongst you. See, I intentionally chose a young guy to do the review because we are getting old. See, I never thought I looked old, but one time I was somewhere and some guy came and said, "Oh man, can you push China?" And it was then that I saw, oh, so I'm getting old. So we need to also empower our young folks. Otherwise, when we leave the scene, that is it. At this time, we are going to auction the first copy that was launched by Anna. So I don't know how we're going to close it, but I'll start off. Personally, I love to be my name to be in the issue book that I bought the first copy. So I offer 500 Ghana cedis for it. Anybody who offers something to grab the table? All right. See, Nana has brought an idea which we have been using for some time. We call it Chinese auction. Now, this allows everybody to take part. What we're going to do is that I've offered 500 Ghana cedis, but at this forum, will probably permit 20 cedi increment, 20 cedis or more. You can offer something 5 cedis. Now, I have offered 500. If you say 520, you will bring the 20 cedis. I will definitely give my 500 cedis. But if you say 520, you bring the 20. We will wait. If nobody offers any more, we'll give it to you. We are doing this with love. Because I said 500 and he put just 20 cedis to win the book, I won't get out there and hold him and hey, I offered the big one and so on and so forth. No, we won't do that. We are doing this with love and for the promotion of the book. So if he offers 520, you can go 540. The last person who offers something, what you add on is what you pay. But that one, as soon as you say it, we will come to you and correct it. I will ask Mr. Abisad, who is another supporter of this, to be correcting the money on our behalf. So feel free, you can add, yes, 520, then you give her 20. 540. Well, you can increase it by 1,000 if you want. But the minimum is 20. If somebody offers, say, 5,000, I will stop the auction and give it to you. 540. Don't fear, you can even add a 20 and nobody comes after you, we will give it to you. 590. 590. 590. 590.
640.
640. 640 on the go. 640. I don't know if you understand what I said. Who speaks Japanese here? She's the only Japanese.
690.
Who speaks Japanese? I mean, who speaks Japanese? 690. We are doing auction of the book. You can offer anything from 20 cedis, 40, 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000, 1 million. Whatever you say, you give the money to him. If nobody says anything, we give the book to you.
That's 690.
690. Okay. 691 going 710.
So 710 now.
Okay. 710 on the run going 1. 710 going 810. 8:30.
8:30. From 8:10 to 8:30. So,
8:30. I mean 8:30.
no, 8:30.
8:30. You can add a minimum to say, don't sit back and say that I wish I could. It's only minimum of 20. If nobody comes after you, we'll give it to you. 8.
8:30 plus 50.
8:80. 8:80.
8:80.
Okay.
8:80.
Madam, 8:80 going 1. 8:80. And then I will take back. 900.
900. Baba.
No, 900.
Yes.
Yes. I've been here.
No, Baba.
You are too close. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
900.
900.
900 going 1,
900.
2,
950.
950. 950. 1,
970.
970. One man. All right. So 950. 970. Thank you.
Look.
970.
even those of us who are 1,000.
1,000. Beautiful, Papa.
1,000.
1,000.
Or since she is my wife, with 1, 2,
1,020. 1,020.
1,020, 1,040.
1,040. Thank you. 1,040.
You see, Nana did a lot. Those of us who physically didn't work on this, even we are, you were just sitting and resting. Just go 2022, we are by now we should have reached about 2,000. 1,020 going, 1, this is Nana, 2. You are holding the money and you are not, yes.
1,040.
1,060.
1,060.
1,060. Going, where's Mr. Lawson? You should be here.
1,060.
1,060 going 1, 2.
1,065.
But until then, I saw you holding money. Where is the money?
That's a scanner.
1,000, you don't want to take back.
1,060.
1,060.
1,080.
1,080.
Very good. 1,080.
1,080. 1,000. 1,100. 100.
1,100. Okay.
Somebody should offer 3,000, then I'll stop the auction. 3,000.
1,100.
And then you have the honor, your name will go into history that the first Adinkra book was purchased by you.
1,100. If you don't add anything,
Then it's going 1,
1,900.
2,
Let's go to.
yes,
You want to pass something?
if you have big money and you want to change, you go for change. Then you can go small.
1,120.
1,120.
Yes.
And then please, can you check whether the books
1,120.
the cake was before?
1,120.
This is an odd figure to end.
Yes. So if nobody add anything, you go to him.
Firstly, I will plead with you that you flatten this nicely for us. 1,120.
Yes. Everybody. Yes. 1,000.
You there, I know you can, if you don't have money here, you say that I'll come and collect it later.
1,140.
1,140.
1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
You had. You will give them.
2,500.
That was 1,040. 1140. Then he's gone. So how much are you to give me? 360. All right, 1,500.
No. 1,500. Beautiful. 1,500.
Going, even though he has started it, he still wants to do it.
Go to him. 1,500.
Ambrose, you have never done anything for me before.
Okay, I'm at 1,120.
Oh, the man has called again.
520.
520.
1,520. 1,520.
1,520.
Yeah, so if nobody add anything, I'll collect it.
So, going for my man, yes,
1,800.
1,800.
Okay, 1,800.
But you know how much difference then you have to give. If we don't do the man, how much?
280.
Oh, my head is not a wholesale, so write it down so that I can pass out there.
Yes.
You know Prof. Adinkra.
So where are we now? 1,000.
It is very good to be known.
1,800.
It is very good to be known because you can just say it, and since I know you, I will come for the money. So don't worry.
1,850.
1,850 going.
Very good.
Oh, as for Shanti, I know her. So 800 going. But yes, if you do your hand like this, it means you are coming. If you are a reporter, don't think you are just coming to cover the thing.
So 1,850 now. 1,900. 1,900. Very good.
Okay, since I want the book, I will make it 2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
2,000. Going for myself, one, going for myself,
2,000 now.
2,000.
2,020. 2,020. It is going to Nana.
2,020. Going to Nana.
Yes. Any challenge? 2,020. Yes. Okay. We put the camera at 2,040. I think the evidence comes. 120. 2,000.
When I told you to be serious with your man, now you see how you are suffering.
2,140. Beautiful.
So then you do owe me now.
How much is that? 240 plus 100. 2,340. Thank you. 2,340.
I told you, see, if we are in a hurry and we want to be somebody should
2,340.
I'll go there.
It will go to her.
2,340.
Yeah, 2,340.
2,340.
Yes.
And
2,340.
we came here with the purpose of securing this book in your and you are behaving like we didn't bring money.
So 2,340. 340.
If you ask 60, then
You ask 60. 400. Very good. Very good.
okay, ladies and gentlemen, since this is from my wife, 1, 2,
2,400.
2,420.
Yeah. 2,420. Beautiful.
2,420.
420.
Yes.
2,000.
If this wasn't a wrong figure, I would have given it
440.
2,440. 420. 420.
420.
Somebody to square it so that I
420. That is 2,440.
Both. Don't just dip your hand and come out with nothing. I saw you going inside. Don't worry, when it goes out, we'll take
2,420.
you. I'll let you. I'll take it.
So we should go.
2,000 what?
440.
440.
Yes.
All right.
420.
Where? Who did the last?
460.
460.
460. 460. Last one
From
coming.
then I will
Give it.
460. So we have the 2,000 there, now 460. So
President,
460.
if this book doesn't come to our house, we're in trouble.
460 now.
Even though you gave something, you have the similar honor of giving dredging, and I will come for it. If you sit and let this book go somewhere else, I will do it.
460. So this is 460 now.
460. Who are the last place? I can't say. One.
My beloved sister here. 461.
Two.
462.
For me, there was some dichotomy, so I said that well. Because of that, I said to read law. And I realized that the laws of England were from their customs. You see, their customs. And so what we call the common law, right, was a kind of a fusion of the various customs of England at the time. The various customary communities, right? And they decided to come up with something that was common to the various customs. That's what they call a common law. Unfortunately, that is not a case here. We have imported something and you have to. So you see, anytime you find judgment, especially that has to do with land, that has to do with the people, the court will make this judgment and should go back and fight. And of course, it's not reflecting the custom. Judgments and unfortunately we have parliaments and whatever laws and whatever they are doing and everything, they still come up to the presence of one people that they should be based on the custom and traditions of the people. That's the only way they can accept it. Right. But they don't understand it. So we still have this dichotomy of we are people with our unique identity. Take it or leave it. Isn't it? What about unique identity? So instead of probably getting the common custom of the various customs to get a common ground like what they did in the UK, we have, sorry to say foolishly, adopted something and we call it common law, which is not common law. So when we find something that is going to bring a common ground like this way, I think it's a no man's job. And we must give a good applause. I think it's been a wonderful day. We thank everybody for coming. And we hope that we're not going to leave it at this point and just let it die like it happens in this country. We're going to take it a step further. Some of us are going to give it all our money that we can. Probably let be accepted by our traditional authorities, and then probably from there we can then push it onto the government agenda. Thank you all for coming again.
Okay, thank you for coming, but we are going to unveil the books now. Now, for those of us who couldn't, despite our struggle to get a book through auction and reveal, you can get a copy. The launch price is 60 Ghana cedis. But if you don't buy it here and you want to buy it outside, it will be 80 Ghana cedis. The prices of the card game and the children's books and so on and so forth will be told you when you get to the table. And there are some, those of you who are collectors of books and want the older editions they have been reduced to clear. You can also get some older editions, together with a new edition. So those are the older editions. The brown one, I mean the brown one is the current one on sale.
This is the current one.
Yes.
The revised version.
So we hope that you will try and get copies to take home. We are serving some refreshments on the place. From here, we shall please go there and have something.
You can buy this for your children.
So at this time, I want to thank Nana for spending time to be here with us. I also want to thank our distinguished guests who were here with us, and more especially the media men who were able to join us to cover this for us. We are so grateful. Please, we would like to meet the media men after the program. So thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Since the author is here with us, anybody who buys a copy, they can autograph it for you. So that's 60. So, yeah.